Hello everyone, let's look at 2017 NMOS special round paper. So for the first question, you find out Benjamin has 30% more beats than C and 50% fewer beats than A. After A and B give 90 beats and 95 beats respectively to C, B will have 1/3 as many beats as A. So the question is asked how many beats did C have at first. So for this question, I think we can use a table to represent. So for this one, let me use the red pen. B had 30% more beats than C, right? So we can write B equals to 1.3 C and 50% fewer beats than A, which means B equals to 0.5 A. And after A and B gave 90 and 95 respectively to C, which means used to be A, B, and C. So after they give them 90 and 95, which means minus 90, minus 95, and plus 185, right? So B had 1/3 as many beats as A, which means B minus 95 should equals to 1/3 A minus 90, okay? Then we also don't forget that B equals to 1.3 C, B equals to 0.5 A. And from this one, can we know the relationship between C and A? Right, let's write down here. 1.3 C equals to 0.5 A, which means A should equals to 1.3 divided by 0.5 C, which means it will be 13 divided by 5 C. Okay, so let's use C represent all the number here because we need to calculate C have at first. So which means 1.3 C minus 95 should equals to 1/3. 13 divided by 5 C minus 90. Then you times 3 on both sides. It will become 3.9 C minus 285 equals to 13 divided by 5C minus 90. So this one, 13 divided by 5, you should always know it's 2 and 3 over 5, which is 2.6. Is it 6? Yeah, 2.6. Let's move 2.6C on the left side. It will become 1.3C, should equals to 195, which means C equals to what? 195 divided by 1.3, it will become this one, and this one should be 1, and the remaining part is 65, so times 5, so the answer is 150. Yeah, we have 150 C, B's C will have at first. Now let's look at the second question. So this question is about a square, and you fold something to change the square into a isosceles right angle triangle, and do the same fold again, and then we'll have a EF. We know that EF equals to 12, right? So for this kind of question, the important thing is to find out what is special for the isosceles right angle triangle, which means if this is an isosceles right angle triangle, this angle is 45 degrees. So if you find a triangle and one of the angle is 45 and the other is 90 degrees, it must be a isosceles right angle triangle, which means this, let's use a B prime here. So the angle DB prime B should always be what? 45 degrees. So also we know that the angle EFB prime is 90 degrees, which means the triangle EB prime F is also an isosceles right angle triangle. So you can tell me B prime F should equals to EF and equals to 12. And remember that the B prime C should haven't changed, right? So B prime C is also the side length of the square ABCD, which is 20. Then you can calculate that CF should equals to CB prime minus B prime F. 20 minus 12, the answer is 8. So we know this part is 8, right? So also, you know that we fold this triangle, which means BF should equal to B prime F equals to 12. So can you calculate BC? BC should equals to BF minus CF. So the answer is 12 minus 8 equals to 4. And you should focus on this triangle GCB is also an isosceles right angle triangle because you have a 90 degree here. Then this one is also 45 degrees. So we can write down that GC should equals to CB equals to 4. So the question asks us to find out the shaded area. So the S shaded area is like a trapezium. So for calculate a trapezium, it's the side, top side at the bottom side and times the height divided by 2. So the answer is 4. GC is 4 plus 12. EF is 12 and times 8 divided by 2. So the answer is 16 times 8 divided by 4. The answer is 64 cm squared. Okay, so now let's look at the third question. Third question is just to count how many squares. You need to find out the smallest square is 1 times 1, this smaller square. So you calculate how many smaller square do we have. Just 4 times 4 plus 4 times 4, then minus this 4 should be 16 plus 12 equals to 28. And then the square, you should focus on what? Let's use another pen. Yeah, this one. 2 times 2. So you calculate 2 times 2, how many? Actually, the answer is 17. And then you calculate 3 times 3, right? So this one is the 3 times 3 triangle. It will be 8. The last one, also the biggest one, is 4 times 4. Just the 2, right? 4 times 2. 4 times 4, 2 triangle. 2 squares. So we can write down here in total how many? 28 plus 17 plus 8 plus 2 equals to 55. Okay, it's the answer. Right? Okay, so let's move to the question 4. Question 4, you should calculate, you should find out what's the sum of heptagon and pentagon interior angles. This is very important, so you should always know the formula is n minus 2. N is the how many sides do we have times 180 degrees. So if it's a kind of regular, so the per angle is just n minus 2 times 180 degrees divided by n. Okay, so this question, we need to find out what? We need to find out the angle AGR. Is this one? So let me ask you the first question. So it's a kind of regular heptagon and regular pentagon, which means this side and this side and this side is always equal. So this triangle GRA is a kind of isosceles triangle, which means the angle AGR should equals to angle ARG is also X, right? So the angle QRA, first tell me and how to calculate angle QRA. It's just n equals to 5. It's a it's a regular pentagon. It's 5 minus 2 and times 180 degrees divided by 5. The answer is 108 degrees. Okay, next, tell me what's the angle of GFE. You know GFE? GFE. We want to calculate the bigger heptagon angles. Just use the same method. 7 minus 2 times 180 degrees divided by 7. So the answer is 900 divided by 7 degrees. So you need to calculate the angle RAG, right? RG is easy to calculate. Then we know RAG, then use 180 degrees minus angle RAG and divide by 2. We can calculate X. So RAG is very easy. Use the bigger angle to minus the smaller angle, right? So it's just 900 degrees divided by 7 and minus 108 degrees. So the answer is 144 degrees divided by 7. Then we need to calculate X. X should equals to 180 degrees minus 144 degrees divided by 7. And don't forget divided by 2. So it is X, but the question asks us to find out 7X. You know, for NMOS, the answer is always, most of the answers is integer number. So that's why the question asks you to find out 7X instead of X. So it's easy for our to calculate. You don't need to calculate too much fraction. So just the times 7 on both sides, and it will become 90 degrees minus 72 divided by 7 degrees and times 7, right? So the answer is 630 degrees minus 72 degrees. So the answer will be 558 degrees. So here's the answer. Next, let's look at the question 5. So question 5, after reading the question, you should find the ratio of the number of oranges to that of apples was 5 to 3. So original, it is O means orange and A means apples, is 5 to 3. So, and in the morning, 3/7 of the oranges and some apples were sold. So we don't know how many apples were sold. We only know that 3/7 of the oranges were sold. And the ratio of the number of oranges to that of apple become 10 to 7. The fruit seller bought 60 oranges and 240 apples in the afternoon. So in the end, the number of the oranges left was same as the number of apples left. Okay, so after reading the question, you should have a table. At first, it will have 5 unit oranges and 3 unit apples. So first question, tell me how many remain after the morning? Sure. 3/7 of the oranges were sold, which means the remaining part is 1 minus 3/7. It will be 4/7 oranges remain. So it will become 4/7 times 5U equals 20/7 units. Okay, so about A, do we know how many apples were sold? We don't know. So let's just assume that X apples were sold. So it will become 3U minus X. And we know that the ratio of the numbers of oranges to that of apples becomes 10 to 7. Maybe we can write down here 20 divided by 7 unit to 3 unit minus X should be 10 to the 7. So it's a very important thing for you to calculate these things about the ratio is that if we know A to B equals to C to D like that, so just times this one and this one, it should be equal. Okay, you missing? For this one, you should always know the ratio, how the ratio to the percentage and also to the fraction. It's very important because A to B equals to C to D. If A to B equals to C to D, so you can write down here A divided by B equals C divided by D, right? Because the ratio can be transferred to the fraction. And how to calculate this? You know A times D should equals to B times C. That's why I say you can transfer the ratio to another equation. So after you calculate, it will become 39 unit minus 10x should equals to 20 unit. Oh, you find that 10x should equals to 10u, which means 1 unit equals to 1x. So let's, instead of this, it will become 2 unit. Okay, the question will become very easier. So after that, we know that the fruit seller bought 60 oranges and 240 apples in the afternoon. So we can write another equation. Yeah, after that, the number of oranges left was the same as the number of apples left, which means 60 plus 20 divided by 7 unit should equals to 2 unit plus 240 apples. Let's move to the other side. It will become 7, and 6 over 7 unit should equals to 180. So 1 unit equals to how many? Yeah, 1 unit equals to 210. So the question asks us to find out how many apples were there at the fruit store at first, which means we need to find out 3 units. Equals 3 times 210, the answer will be 630. Okay? Now let's move to another question. So for this one, you should, for the sum of 1 plus 2 to the n, do you know the quotient sum? Quotient sum, the conclusion is n times 1 plus 2 plus 2n should be there, n times n plus 1. Yeah, this is the first number, and this is the last number, and this is the how many number do we have, and divide by 2. It's n times n squared plus 1, n divided by 2. So this one is first, last, how many. Okay, it will be clear for you to understand. So we know that the 1st digit is 3, and the 10th digit will be 0, which means the answer will be something, I don't know, maybe something, maybe 3-digit number, maybe 4-digit number, I don't know. Let's use this one, something, I don't know. And the 10th digit is 0, and 1st digit is 3, like that. Okay, so we need to find out n squared plus n equals to just the times 2 on both sides. It will become something I really don't know, and 0, 3 times 2, it should be 0, 6. So we need to know n times n plus 1. Yes, which means this number is the first number, and times this first number plus 1. The last 2 digits will be 0, 6. Then you can find what the adjacent number times up. You can find the answer will be, the last digit will be 6. Maybe you find 2 and 3, right? 2 and 3, 2 times 3 is 6. And 7 times 8 is also 6, right? So you need to find out 12, 13, maybe 22, 23, 32, 33, and 17, 18, and 27, 28, and 20, 37, and 38. You should check whether this can be divided by whether you times the 2 number and you got the last 2 digits is 0, 6. Okay, so for this one, this question is very hard. It's because if you test the 17 times 18, I will tell you the conclusion. 17 times 18, the answer will be 306. Then you know, okay, I find the answer. So it will be 17 and equals to 17. Then you write the answer. And actually, this is wrong. Because you just calculate 17 times 18 and divide by 2. The answer is what? The answer is 307 divided by 2. It's 156. No, sorry. it will be 153. Yeah, 153 is not something 03. So that's what this question will ask you. So you need to try again. Then you find this one is actually the answer. So n equals to 37. So for this one, you should always check whether this number is right. Okay? Okay, for this question, you need to draw the diagram. This is A and this B. George from here, and this one H from here. Okay, let's assume they first meet at this place. And we know the distance of this one should be 64 meters. And let's choose another pen, maybe this green one. This will be G1 the first time. Before the first time they meet, how many distance G have run is G1. And this part is H2. H1, okay, H1. And then the second time they meet is over here. Also A and B. And this one, let's write down. This is also the first time they meet. And use a bigger triangle and black one to represent the second time they meet. Okay, so we also know this one is 64, and this one we all know, because for the second time they meet, the distance between A and the meet place is 168 meters. So this one should be 168 minus 64. It will be 102 meters. Okay, for the second time they meet, let's use this dotted line. Okay, so it will be here. Put it here. So this will be G2. Before the second time, between the first time and the second time they meet, how many distance G2 run, right? And also this is okay. Yeah, sorry. This is H2. This is H2. Just how many distance after the first time they meet before and the second time they meet, how many distance H2 have run. So the question will become, so first tell me G1 plus H1 equals to what? Yeah, G1 plus H1 is equals to the total distance of AB, which is S. And G2 plus H2 become what, right? You just see that G2 is this line from this place to this place, this place to this place, and H2 is this place to this place. You add them up, it will be 2 total distance of AB, which is 2 times S. And you may find that the time of first time they meet and the second time they meet never changed, right? Which means these two should be same, and the distance, the time of how many times G run and how many times H run is a fixed value, never change. And what's not changed? The speed of G and H never changed, because it's a kind of uniform speed, right? So just answer me a question. So for this time, G2 plus H2 is 2 times the total value, and this time G1 plus H1 is just the total distance. So the ratio of the total distance is just the ratio of per person G and H run. So G1 equals to 64 meters. How many distance G2 run? Yeah, 64 times 2 is just 128 meters. Then we need to find out the total distance. It will become very easy. We know that the first time is 64, right? This part 64, and for G2 is this 128 and plus another 168 meters. It will become 2 times the total distance, which means S should equals to 64. Yeah, this part 64 and 128, which is how many distance G2 run this part from here to here, right? And plus 168 meters. This is the third part. In this part is divided by 2. It's just the total distance. Then you calculate, it will be 118 meters. So the answer is 180 meters. Okay. Now let's move to the question 8. Yeah, question 8 is about efficiency question. You know, take 12 sunny days and teams B take 15 sunny days to complete the project. So you can write down here for A, the sunny days. V, let's use V to separate to represent the efficiency of team A. VA should be 1 divided by 12. Yeah, just assume that the project is just a 1. It will be easy. And for rainy days, it will be, we know that the rainy days team A would complete 40% less per day. It will be 0.6 times VA, right? Then for B, it will take 15 sunny days. For sunny days, VB will be 1 divided by 15. In rainy days, it will be, let's complete 10% less per day, 0.9 times VB. Okay, so the question said both teams start working on the same day and complete the project on the same day a few days later. So we can assume S sunny days and R rainy days. So which means 1 divided by 12 times S plus 0.6 times 1 over 12 times rainy days should equals to 1 divided by 15. It's the team B speed of the sunny day times sunny day plus 0.9 times 1 over 15 times the rainy days. Okay, so this is for team A. This is for team B. So next, what's the other question? Next, we can find, oh yeah, these two parts complete one project, right? So should equals to 1, right? Then you can find 1 divided by 12 S plus 1 divided by 20 R should equals to 1, and 1 divided by 15 S plus 3 divided by 50 R equals to 1. Then you may change and find something, divide by something, you find that 1 over 60 S should equals to 1 over 100 R, which means S to R should be 3 to 5. Okay, this will be easy. And you know that you need to find the number of rainy days. Actually, you know that the ratio of sunny days and rainy days is 3 to 5. Then you find maybe you put 3 and 5 back to the equation. You find whether 1 over 12 times 3 plus 1 over 20 times 5 equals to what? Okay, actually I can 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4. It will be half, not 1. So it will not be 3 sunny days and 5 rainy days. Then also you times 2 on both sides. It will become 6 sunny days and 10 rainy days. Then you come back 1 over 12 times 6 plus 1 over 20 times 10. It will be half plus half be 1. So the answer is sunny days. Sorry. So the answer is sunny days, 6 days, and rainy days, 10 days. Okay? Yeah, this is question 9. I will show a very easy question, method to do this kind of question. So for 12, you just think, oh, who times who can be 12 because we are calculating the rectangular area. So we may assume that 4 times 3 can be 12. So I know this length is 4 and this area is 6. So this length should be what? 9, right? 4 times 9. And with 24, so we want to know who times who can be 24. Yeah, we may assume that 6 times 4 can be 24. And this is 6. 6 times what can be 48. 6 times 8 can be 48. So for this length, it's just what? Yeah, 4 minus 3 equals to 1. Then we need to calculate the shaded area. It will become 1 times 4 divided by 2 plus 1 times 6 divided by 2. So the answer will be 5. So the answer is 5. This will be very easy. Just use the special value method. Okay? Now let's look at this question. For this question, you should always test and assume something. So if we want a 3-digit number as big as possible, so what we want is just 987. It will be the largest 3-digit number I want to find out. So let's make a try. So if h equals to 9, so which means, is it possible? Yeah, very possible, right? So a plus c plus f. So we also want I equals to 8. So e can be what? Because you know a plus c plus f, the mixed value is 9, and now will become 7 plus 6 plus 5, which is 18. So, which is 18. So for e cannot be 7, right? So if e is 7, which means a plus c plus f should be bigger than 20. But it can never be bigger than 20 because we have already used 8 and something 7 here. So I cannot be 8. Let's calculate. Let's delete this one. So I cannot be 8. So let's try whether I can be 7. Right, so I become 7, which means E can be what? Because we want the 7 here, so E can be 8, which means A plus C plus F should be 18, right? Let's try the biggest A plus C plus F, whether it can be 18. So we have 9, 8, 7 here, so the last 3 biggest numbers should be 6 plus 5 plus 4. So you calculate it will be 15. Okay, 15 is also smaller than 18. So this is also not correct. Yeah, let's delete this number. So 7 is also not okay. So let's try 6. So which means A plus C plus F should be 16. So E can only be 8. So can A plus C plus F be 16? Yeah, possible, right? So it can be what? 7 plus 4 plus 5, right? 7, 4, 5. So for J, what's the remaining part, biggest value? It can only be 3. 3 is just B plus D plus G equals to 3. Then you may find 0, 1, 2 is possible. 0, 1, 2. Now you can find the biggest value is 963. Okay. Yeah, let's look at the question 11. So this is a very simple question. You draw a diagram, all the things come out. So this is Justin. He is the first man. And the second one is Caden. The distance between Caden and Justin is 12 meters. And the third one is Leon. The distance between Leon and Caden is 48 meters. So, and the total meter is 300 meters. So let's first ask you, who is the fastest guy? Yeah, Justin, right? Then who is the last one? Leon, you find out. So let's first calculate the speed of Caden. It will be 12 divided by 2, right? 12 divided by 2. It should be 6 meters per second. And let's calculate the speed of Justin. Justin is 300 divided by t. T is what? So t is, now in this diagram, t is the total time they run from the start point into the end. Justin is the first guy, and how many times passed. Okay, it's just the t. T is very important in this question. And we also know vk, right? Vk we can just calculate. 288 is just 300 minus 12 and divided by t. We know that the speed of k is 6 already, which is 6. Then we can calculate t equals to 48 seconds. Then we can calculate the speed of Leon, which is 300 minus 48 minus 12 and divided by 48. So the answer will be 5 meters per second. So the question is asked, how many more seconds does Leon have to run when Caden finished the race? It's just 60 because the distance from Leon to the final point is 60 divided by 5, which is Leon's speed, and minus 2 because the Caden will take 2 seconds to the end. So the answer is 12 minus 2 equals to 10 seconds. This distance question will be very easy. Okay. Now let's look at this question. For this question, maybe you think it's hard, but actually you just connect this line and this line. Then tell me. So the total angle that rotated relative to center O should be what? Right, 360 degrees. Then we know that each time they turn alpha degree, and we know that OB equals to OA equals to OC, and O equals to OD, and equals to OE. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 isosceles triangle. Then you may find that angle AOB should equals to angle BOC should equals to angle COD should equals to angle AOD, which is 360 degrees minus 36 degrees and divide by 4, which is 81 degrees. So then we find out each angle is 81 degrees, and we need to find out what? Yeah, the question is asked us how many, from the point F, find the minimum number of times and he reached a point on the cycle before he got to point A again, right? So we only need to find out the LCM of 81 degrees and 360 degrees. Use the wide ladder method. It will be 9, 9, and 40, which means 9 times 9 times 40. 81 times 40, it will become the LCM of 81 and 360. Why 360? We want a circle, right? Come back to the A point. So we need 40 in total from begin with A. Yeah, this number is just a calculate begin with A. So begin with A, we need 40 number turns, and then he will come back to A. So the question is asked from point F. Let's count it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then become the point comes to F. So the answer is just 40 minus 5 equals to 35 times. So here's the answer. Now let's look at this question. There are 5 different whole numbers, the average of 4 and 5. Yeah, this one is also very easy. So let's assume A, B, C, D, E, 5 number. And from the smaller to the biggest. So which fourth average is the smallest, right? So just the A, B, C, D is the smallest for digits, which is 36 and 38, 39, 45, and 49. How can we get the biggest average number? It's just to calculate B, C, D, E. The average number is 49. That's why we have from 36 to 49. And you can write down here 36 plus 38 plus 39 plus 45 plus 49 and times 4. What's that value? Yeah, it's just 4 times A plus B plus C plus D plus E. Now we can calculate A plus B plus C plus D. Sorry, this is E. Plus E should equals to 207. Then we need to calculate the largest number of between these 5 numbers. So we know that 36 is the full number, not considered the biggest E. So which means we can calculate 207 minus 4 times 36. Right? 4 times 6. This is A plus B plus C plus D plus E. This is A plus B plus E plus D. This is A plus B plus C plus D plus E. So E equals to this one. The answer is 63. Okay, very easy question. So for question 14, yeah, from the first 17 degrees to the next 17 degrees, let's write down here. This 17 degrees is first time, and the second time, so it will become here, and also 17 degrees. So first tell me what's the speed of our hand. Yeah, you should always remember the speed of our hand is 0.5 degree per minute. And the speed of minute hand, it will be 6 degrees per minute. So the difference of our hand and minute hand is very important. It's 6 minus 0.5 equals to 5.5 degrees per minute. Then from the first 70 degrees to the next 70 degrees, so you can just calculate, it will become 360 degrees minus 70 degrees. So we need to find out the total difference between the first time and the second time and divide by the difference of the speed. Then we can calculate the time difference, right? So the first, let's calculate the degrees difference. It will be 360 degrees minus 70 degrees, then minus 70 degrees. And divide by 5.5. It will become what? 220 divided by 5.5. The answer will be 40 minutes. This one is very easy question. You just find out the difference of the distance and the difference of the speed, then divide by use the difference of the distance divided by the difference of the speed. Then you calculate the time. It's 40 minutes. Okay. For next one, for this question, you need to find out. Yeah, first tell me how to calculate the triangle's area. It's side times length and divide by 2, right? Okay, so for this one, we need to find out what side and what height never change, right? Okay, this will be height. Why write length? Okay, so let's connect the AF, right? Let's use this as X and this is Y. To find out the triangle of AEF and the triangle AFC, what's the same, right? Their height is same. So the area of AEF to area of AFC, the ratio is just the EF to FC. And you may find that the triangle EFB and the triangle FBC, the height of triangle EFB and the height of FBC is also same, right? So we can write down here X to y plus 10 should equals to 4 to 8. And then let's look at this triangle. Use the same method. We can write down here x plus 4 divided by y should equals to what? Okay, x plus 4 is just this triangle to this one, right? So it's just 8 to 10. Just a 1 to 2, and this one 4 to 5. And we can write down like that. 5x plus 20 equals to 4y, and 2x equals to y plus 10. Yeah, we made it. This order is not right. Yeah, here it's right. Then after that, you calculate this one. You find x equals to 20 and y equals to 30. We need to find out the quadrilateral AEF. This area is just 20 plus 30 equals 50. Okay. Now let's look at 2000. This one, question 16. So for this one, I hope all you guys can remember one thing. That's 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus blah 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 plus n equals to. Yeah, this year is 2023. So we need to find out the most closest number to 2023. Then I will tell you the answer. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus blah 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 plus 63 should equals to 2016. It's very the closest value, right? You should remember it because this year is 2023, right? So then, tell me, 2016 is what's where? It's row 63 row, and the last value is 2016. So for 2017, it will be in 64 row, right? Then you may find another important thing from this question is that you find the even number, the odd number, and the odd number. The number is just from left to right. And this is the even number, so it's just from right to left. The order will become a zigzag, okay? Now tell me, 2017 is 64 row. It's a kind of even number. So the value is just from where to where. It's just from right to left. So for 2017, it's just the last number in row 64, which means m equals to 64 and n equal to 64. M plus n should be 128. So here's the answer. And then now let's look at question 2017. So this one you need to find out. Let's use I call it milk tea method. So for milk tea method, we have a sugar is 3, and this one is the less sugar milk tea, and this one is the more sugar. Why more sugar is sweeter than the less sugar? Because we have more sugar, right? So let's use 3 is the sugar, and 10 is the milk tea, and this one 5 is the sugar, and 16 is the milk tea. Then I tell you, this cup of milk tea is sweeter than this cup of milk tea, right? Why? Because the question tell you this one is smaller and this one is bigger. So if I want to find out a cup of milk tea, the sweet situation is between this one, less sugar, and more sugar. The easiest way for you to get this kind of milk tea is what? Yeah, you just put this cup of milk tea and this cup of milk tea together into a big cup. So this cup is the medium sweet. So in this medium sweet milk tea, how many sugar do we have? 3 plus 5. And how many milk tea do we have? 10 plus 16. It is 8 over 26, just a 4 over 13. Then question asks the smallest value of s. So s equals 13. Yeah, here's the answer, 13. Okay, now let's move to this question. So for this question, you need to find out how to find this kind of number can be divided by 13, right? For 13, you need to know the cut digit, right? 3-digit cut, always from right to left. This have a cut, and this have a cut, and the even group is what? BC2, and the odd group is what? A plus 17. So use the even group to minus the odd group. If the number can be divided by 13, the total number can be divided by 13. So the question becomes 100 times B plus 10C plus 2 minus A minus 17. It will become 100 times B plus 10C minus 15 minus A. Right? Then, we want to find out the smallest value. If we want a smallest 3-digit number, so A should be what? 1. So we can just assume A equals to 1 because we want the 3-digit number ABC as smaller as possible. So it will become 100 times B plus 10C minus 16. Right? So if this value can be divided by 13, so the total number can be divided by 13. So you may find 13 times 8 is 104, which means I want this number become 104 because we also have a 16. So it will become something B, it will become something B, something C, and something 0 minus 16. It can be 4, something 0, and something 1. Then you can tell me B equals to what? B should equals to 1, and C equals to what? C can equals to 2. Right? That's the smallest value. So which means A, B, C should be 1, 1, 2. Here's the answer. Okay, now let's look at the last several question. So question 19 is a very challenging question. For this kind of logic question, the most important thing is to find out the paradox. This is very important. So let's read the condition one by one. The first one, A 27 3 cube, right? And this one, just a 7. And this 17, maybe 9 plus 8, something else, I don't know. And perfect square, great. And 89100. So you should do that. It will be 2 square times 3 to the 4, and 5 square times 11. So you need to know that. And also, you need to find out which two is a paradox. So the first one is A. It's just a paradox to the C, right? So it's a multiply of 27, 2-digit number can be 17? No. So paradox means what? Not means one right and one wrong. It can mean one must be wrong. Okay? Then you may find out some paradox. So B is the paradox to E, right? It's a multiply for 7. No 7 in E, right? When you find these numbers, no 7. Okay, so also one must be wrong. Also, what else can you find? Yeah, you may find C And D is a paradox because the perfect square mode 3, the remainder should only be 0 or 1. This is a conclusion. Maybe you can remember it and remember that. Just remember. So you find from these three paradox, what can you find? So we can find A and D must be right. And you just need to find another number to test whether this question is right. So you need to find out what else can be right. Yeah, just E, because E have some values we can use. So we think ADE is the three choose. Okay, then you can calculate, choose from A and D and E, and you just find out maybe 2 times 3. No, 2 times 3 is not a multiplier of 27, right? So you can find out 2 times 3 in times 3 square, right? It is 18 square. So the answer is 3 to 4. Okay, so just have a try. Maybe you first time see, oh yeah, E is we can use many values, 2 squared and how many 2 and 3 and 5 all I can use. So maybe you think, yeah, it's very easy for me to build a perfect square. So maybe D and E is same, and you may find 27. Okay, 27 is 3 cube. So I can also find some 3 cube from the factor of 89100. So I first guess I think ADE should be right. So I just write down here. Also, you may be from series logic judgment, you just find the paradox. It's okay. Now let's look at the last question. For this last question, I think no better method. I just use A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. So just look at this triangle, and this triangle. So you find A plus B plus C is 16. D plus G plus H equals to 18. F plus I plus J equals to 12. And the sum is 16 plus 18 plus 12 plus E, right? Or the total sum, I mean. So the answer will be 46 plus E. And we can also choose the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, right? So we can only choose these several numbers. And also we can write down A plus B plus C should be 16, and B plus C plus E equals to 14. And can you calculate A minus E equals to what? A minus is just to use this equation 1 to minus equation 2. A minus should be 2, which means E should equal to A minus 2. So what's the maximum value of A? It can only be 8, right? 8 minus 2. It will be smaller or equal just 6. So we can write down A max should be 8 and E max should be 6. Okay, so the sum is 46 plus E. So just 46 plus 6. The answer will be 52. Okay, here's the 2017 question. I hope all you guys can understand. And if you have another something else question, you are welcome to ask your mom and dad to use WhatsApp to contact me. Okay, have a good day.